But let me give a little bit more background on why we're here tonight, and a little bit about the congressional study that we're going to hopefully gather information about tonight. As Deputy Director Brent stated, there was an act passed by Congress, the President signed at the end of December, which included the requirement for the office to have a report on commission, basically, and gather input and see how can we make the program better. The program was initially set up through the American Invents Act in 2011, Section 32, kind of set the program up, and as we kind of watched it, we've learned a tremendous amount over the 11 or so, 12 plus years. The study is due in 1 year from now, so we've been actively working on gathering information so that we can make sure that that's the last thing I want to do is have a late congressional report, right? The study sets forth a couple things. I want to kind of go over these to make sure that we get the information that we need to hopefully kind of make this report as thorough and comprehensive as possible. Because these are a couple things that the Act talked to us about and asked us to take a look at. Whether the program sufficiently serves participants, whether the programs are sufficiently funded, whether the participation requirements deter participation among inventors, whether inventors are aware of the programs, whether there are any factors that deter attorney participation, and whether the programs would benefit by including non-attorney assistance. So in addition, the study also is going to look at things that Director Vidal and Deputy Director Brent asked us to also include related to the programs, and we are actively doing that. Our purpose of these listening sessions tonight, by the way, we're having another one on Wednesday for the attorneys to kind of tell us, to give us their thoughts, is to make you aware, one, of what the PTO is doing in regards to the pro bono program, and then how we're progressing with the study and how you can help us. A complete list of the areas of the inquiry that we published related to tonight's listening session, which was back in April, is through a Federal Register notice that we put, and I think we're going to have a slide that will have a link. We're going to provide that to you where you can take a look at that. We're using these listening sessions and the request for comments in the notice that we published, obviously, to get your feedback and solicit. We want your feedback. We want, even if it's not good news, we still want to know how can we make the program better, because there's things that we just don't have visibility to. We need your help with that. Tonight, we're going to set the table for obtaining the feedback through these listening sessions. We have a full agenda here. We're going to start with a brief overview of the program as we currently have it. It's going to include some of the information that we've collected regarding demographics and some of the data that inventors who have participated with the program over the last few years. Hopefully that will be helpful in kind of formulating some of your comments and thoughts as we move forward with the program. We're also going to have a presentation, a newly created program by the Patent Trial and Appeals Board, which was started last year, roughly a year ago. So we're going to get some information on how that program is helping under-resourced inventors who have issues before the PTAB. Then we're going to have a moderated panel of distinguished guests, and thank you so much for coming down to Alexandria and participating in tonight's session. These are various stakeholders and share different perspectives on how the program can work better and what you see from your vantage point. We're open during these listening sessions to questions from the panelists, also to the staff here at the USPTO. Lastly, there will be an open forum where you can provide any comments that you have regarding the pro bono program. You can continue to ask us programs as we kind of formulate our report over the next few months. Before we move to the presentations, I'd like to encourage the audience to share your thoughts and ideas on this program at the open forum portion at the end of this session. Only upon hearing from you, the users of the program, will we be able to kind of identify what and how we can make the program better. If you don't share your comments, we won't know about it. We really want to hear how we can make the program better. So without further ado, let's get started with the program.
Thanks, Will. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Olivia Shore. She is the Patent Pro Bono team lead, and she'll go over the Patent Pro Bono program. So I'll turn it over to you, Olivia.
Bring this way down. Thanks, Grant. I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. I'm just going to give a quick overview of the pro bono program, as we'll mention some of the demographics and data that we've collected so far that you can use to generate some of your ideas about where the program is and where we can take it. So the program started in 2011 under the American Invents Act. Congress gave the USPTO the mission to start up a program to help financially under-resourced independent inventors and small businesses access the patent system. Over the last 12 or 13 years, we have partnered with individual organizations across the country that really help do the work of matching inventors to volunteer attorneys. Currently, we have 20 regional programs that do that matching assistance between under-resourced inventors and small businesses and the volunteer practitioners. And the real work of the program is to file and prosecute patent applications. So we have noticed that there are plenty of benefits on both the USPTO side and the inventor side of this program. So one of the huge impacts to the inventors is that they finally have access to practitioners that they wouldn't be able to afford because they don't have the finances to reach. Average, we see more, about 12,000 hours donated every single year by patent practitioners, which has been over the life of the program, 95,000 hours donated. We see a little over 200 applications filed on behalf of inventors every year, which has resulted in over 2,000 applications filed since 2015. And a little bit on the demographics. When we collect the demographics, which we started doing in 2021, it's completely optional. Inventors do not have to respond to the survey when they file or apply for the program. And so this is all optional data. But of the people that are responding, we're seeing about 43% of them are female. And this is a huge jump from a study that the USPTO did back in 2018, which showed that women only represent about 13% of patent applicants, or patent named inventors on patent, or granted patents, sorry about that. And so we're seeing much bigger representation of women through the patent pro bono program. And we're also seeing that, as far as minorities are concerned, a much higher percentage than the standard US population being represented by our patent pro bono applicants. So of the people that responded to the survey, 35% were Black or African American, 7% identified as 2 or more races, so this map is a great representation of the program as a whole. If you go to our website, which I will provide a link with later, this is displayed very prominently on the website, and it provides links to the individual programs. As I mentioned, there's 20 of them that provide services to people on a regional basis, and this map is a representation of where those programs are. So a little bit of information on our regional programs. So they are nonprofit organizations, generally focusing on copyrights and trademarks, and through our partnership, they have expanded that focus into patents. They also include universities and bar associations. They are completely independent organizations. Each regional program covers either an individual state or a group of states, again on a regional basis. They follow general guidelines that the agency sets, but they are able to really run their program however they see fit. And their main goal is to screen applicants. So when I provide the website in a little bit, you can go to that. You apply directly with the program. The program does a screening of the initial application, matches it with pro bono or with patent practitioners. And then they exit the relationship, and the relationship is really between the inventor and the practitioner. So they screen for whether there's actually an invention, income, and knowledge of the patent system. So general criteria for inventors. Again, this are general guidelines that we provide to our programs, but the individual programs set their own standards. So we really do encourage folks to reach out to the individual programs to find out what the requirements are in their geographical area. So generally, there is an income of 300% of the federal poverty guidelines. So just for reference, for a single person in 2023, that's about a little over $43,000 a year of income. That does scale with the number of folks that might be in your household. Some programs do cap it as low as 200%, and we do have a few programs that do offer up to 400% of the federal poverty guidelines. We have to demonstrate a knowledge of the patent system. And so the reasoning behind that is we really want our inventors to get the most out of the time of their attorneys. And so we do require that inventors show a baseline knowledge before we match them with the practitioner, so that they can really hit the ground running and get the most out of the assistance. And to do that, most programs either ask that the inventor has filed a provisional patent application, but overwhelmingly our programs accept a certificate from a would-be on the inventor to cover themselves. As I mentioned, all of these criteria are set completely by the regional program, so we suggest that you reach out directly to them to find out the requirements of your area. And one of the last things is sometimes within the patent system there are deadlines that kind of create some gridlock with matching with patent practitioners. For example, if a provisional application has been filed, it would start a clock. And so just being cognizant of that and leaving about a 3 to 6 month window that would allow the program to match you before your opportunity to file with the office expires. Matching with a patent practitioner is not guaranteed. Unfortunately, which includes patent practitioners specialize in specific technology areas, and there might not be a practitioner that works in that technology that's willing to take cases at the time, and so there's just not somebody there. And there might also be conflicts of interest where they have another client that has a similar technology that would bar them from taking on your case. We suggest following up with the regional program periodically to verify the status of your application, but most programs will send a denial of services after a certain amount of time passes if they're unable to find a match. So as I promised, here is the website that you should go to if you're interested in finding out more about the Patent Pro Bono program. It's uspto.gov/pro bono patents. On that website is now. There will be another one of these listening sessions held this Wednesday from 1 to 4. And of course, written comments will be accepted until July 11th through the regulations.gov link. And with that, I am going to invite up Vice Chief Janet Gongola, who's going to give a nice presentation on the PDAP Pro Bono program.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here to talk about the PTAB Pro Bono program. Our program was able to make great benefit of the patent pro bono program in establishing ourselves. So we stood on the shoulders of giants in coming in to be the new kid on the block. So I'm going to tell you, similar to what Olivia shared how the program is structured, who are the players, and what the process is for an inventor to participate in the program. So similar to the patent pro bono program, PTAB pro bono is designed for financially under-resourced inventors, inventor groups, and inventor-owned small businesses to be matched with a volunteer patent practitioner, either an attorney or an agent, to secure free legal help before the board in currently appeal proceedings, eventually AIA trial proceedings. The goal of our program is to assist innovators to be able to bring their innovations to impact, as Director Adal's quote on this slide indicates. Now, to entry into the patent system is lowered through this program. They also are going to receive aid in making, organizing the arguments before the patent trial and appeal board. Now, this isn't to say that they couldn't be effective on their own, but who doesn't benefit from having a second or a third set of eyes assisting you? Teamwork is typically always better than the work of an individual. And then on the flip side, for our volunteer practitioners, they are able to provide pro bono help in the field of their practice. So they don't have to realize that it would be beneficial for us to maybe remove some of the eligibility requirements. We'll talk more about them in detail, but we expanded the income that an inventor can earn in order to qualify for free legal help. We also opened the door to their experience with the patent system by eliminating the micro-entity requirement. This means that an inventor is not restricted on the number of prior filed applications that they could have had to qualify for free legal help. By opening the doors to the program, as we have now received 4 applications from inventors who want to participate in the program, and those 4 inventors have successfully been matched with volunteer attorneys. So the change in course we made seems to be putting us on the right direction, pathway. Eventually, later this year, it is our intent to grow the program from ex parte appeals into the AIA trial arena, assisting patent owners with their filings in these trial proceedings. And then eventually we're hoping to be able to service petitioners as well, but one step at a time. Now for the eligibility. So first we're going to discuss who's involved. Well, we have all the inventors. We also have our PTAB Bar Association functioning as the clearinghouse, and we have our volunteer attorneys. The PTAB Bar Association is the true administrator of the program. They set the requirements for entry. They secure volunteers to represent the inventors. They do all of the screening of applications and all of the matchmaking. The USPTO is not listed on this slide because we are in the background as a supporting entity, helping the Bar Association publicize the availability of the free legal help and assisting them in connecting with various inventor groups so that inventors are out there and know about the availability of this free legal help. Now, for an inventor, and you can basically take this criteria and apply it to every inventor within an inventor group and every inventor who owns a small business. But there's a variety of eligibility requirements. The inventor has to be located in the United States. Olivia talked a bit about the income limit. The income limit is set at 400% of the federal poverty guidelines, which for an individual is around $58,000. but it is scalable, and I'll show you that momentarily, for a household based upon the number of members of that household. Now, because our appeal process has set time frames, there is a window within which inventors have to apply for the free legal help. They have 1 month from the date of a final rejection or a second office action rejection of their invention to seek help. That will then give the program enough time to find a volunteer.
And these panelists, the reason we chose them is they've either had a direct or indirect relation with the patent pro bono program. And so they're going to be able to share their thoughts and experiences with the program. And so I'd like to start by introducing this panel, starting to my right, your left, with Jim Patterson. Jim Patterson is the founder of Patterson Puente IP, a leading intellectual property law firm located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The patent pro bono program got its start over a decade ago through Jim's leadership in launching his program in his home state. Jim has been instrumental in achieving the patent pro bono program in all 50 states. Internationally, Jim continues his lead role in the creation and ongoing expansion of the International Patent Pro Bono Program, managed by the World Intellectual Property Organization's Inventors Assistance Program, an initiative undertaken in conjunction with the World Economic Forum. As an attorney, Jim has 30+ years experience in all elements of intellectual property prosecution, whether it's patents, trademarks, or copyrights, and even in litigation. He has spent his legal career helping companies and individual inventors profit and protect their intellectual property. Thank you, Jim. Next to Jim, we have John DeSilva. Jonathan DeSilva is an assistant professor at Penn State Law and the director of the Intellectual Property Law Clinic at the Happy Valley Launchbox in State College, Pennsylvania. Jonathan develops curriculum and processes for experiential learning for law students at Penn State Law and coordinates the activities of the IP Clinic with Invent Penn State Initiative and the Penn State Launchbox Network, and with other economic development and public outreach initiatives. Jonathan directs the Patent Pro Bono program for Pennsylvania through the IP Clinic. Jonathan is also the founder and principal of his solo boutique intellectual property law firm, MMI Intellectual Property, located in Erie, Pennsylvania. And so yes, he does make that commute from Erie to Penn State. Jonathan is global IP counsel for several multinational corporations, as well as counsel for several universities, small business, inventors, and creatives at every stage of their development and at all ages. Jonathan is admitted to practice in Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, D.C., and before the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Thank you. Next to Jonathan, we have Brian Freed. Brian Freed is known as the Inventor's Coach and is a highly accomplished innovator, author, and speaker. With 15 patents to his name, he has successfully licensed and manufactured his own inventions, gaining recognition through QVC, infomercials, catalogs, and major retailers. For over 18 years, Brian has been working closely with inventors, providing one-on-one coaching and invention licensing agent, and guiding inventors in commercializing their ideas into tangible products. As an expert speaker, Brian captivates audience with his engaging talks and on innovation and invention. He has authored 3 books offering practical advice and strategies for aspiring inventors. In addition to his speaking and writing endeavors, Brian hosts the Got Invention Show, a platform that showcases inventors and their creators, providing them with valuable exposure. Brian is the founder of the National Inventor Club, a community that supports and connects inventors, fostering collaboration and networking opportunities. He serves as the Chief Invention Officer of InventSmart, an invention consultancy that assists inventors in bringing their ideas to fruition. In June 2023, so right around the corner, Brian is set to launch the InventSmart Community app, an inventive social media and resource center exclusively designed for inventors. This app, available for download on Google Play and the App Store, aims to create a vibrant community where inventors can connect, share ideas, and access valuable resources. With his experience, resourcefulness, and commitment to helping inventors succeed, Brian Freed has become a trusted figure in the invention industry. Inventors and aspiring innovators can rely on his expertise and guidance to navigate the complexities of the invention process and turn their ideas into reality. Thank you, Brian. Finally, and not lastly, we have Charles Sauer. Charles Sauer is a seasoned economic policy expert, author, president, and founder of the Market Institute. Charles began developing his expertise in finance and tax by working for the chairman of the Finance Committee, and then going on to be a legislative analyst focused on tax, immigration, and labor issues in a governor's office. In 2007, Charles was named Deputy Legislative Director for the National Center for Policy Analysis, or NCPA, a think tank dedicated to finding free market alternatives to government regulation. After his time with the NCPA, he was president of the Entrepreneurs for Growth, a Capitol Hill education program that educated Hill staff on entrepreneurship. Charles then founded Inventors Project. So Jim, I'm going to start with you, and then just go down the line with the same question. Just again, briefly describe your role, experience, or perspective on the Patent Pro Bono program, and then just go down the line with the same question. Just again, briefly describe your role, experience, or perspective on the Patent Pro Bono program. Brian?
Thank you, Grant. And by the way, I wanted to say thank you. You have the best name in the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Grant. That's what we all strive for. So I've been wanting to say that, and I thought this was the appropriate time. So thank you, Grant, for having me and for giving me the opportunity to address you today. This is an important topic. There's inventors across America that are not aware that this program is available. Personally, I have 15 issued patents. I've been running inventors groups for 16 plus years, and just kind of stats on that, I've had over 14,000 unique inventors come through the doors of my inventor clubs over the years, and probably some that haven't, that didn't put their name down on the attendance sheet. But I just wanted to say that being involved with PTAB, Elizabeth Doherty here as well, with the Innovation Outreach Team, there's different platforms and different channels of ways that I look to get the word out to the innovating and innovation community by letting them understand that these type of opportunities are available to them, but it's just not enough. And it seems like as much as I can get the word out, there's still inventors that are going online, searching, and just not sure where they end up. But the first thing that they should see is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and the guidance to help them and assist them, and to be aware that these type of opportunities are available to them. And that's one thing that is my mission, is to be able to get the word out, give them the right information, guide them to the right resources, and that's why I'm here today, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. By empowering inventors with knowledge of the program, we can ensure that those who need assistance, that most are aware of the available resources and have a clear roadmap to follow. It's essential that inventors understand the program's eligibility criteria and how to navigate the application process effectively. This clarity will help them to make informed decisions about seeking legal assistance and pursuing the protection and commercialization of their inventions. It's crucial that we bridge the knowledge gap and ensure that inventors with limited funds have equal opportunities to protect and commercialize their inventions. Through the Patent Pro Bono program, the PTAB Pro Bono program, while the USPTO website serves as a valuable resource, we must also consider alternative avenues to reach inventors who may not actively be searching for this type of information online. And just a couple points, because I've been working with Janet Gongola, Chief Judge, and her team, you know, really looking and finding ways to be able to help and get the word out. So one of the things that we kind of came to a conclusion is really, and we've all said it already, the awareness of the program. Many inventors are not aware that free legal help is there to file a patent application and to an appeal, even an adverse examiner rejection exists. Because they don't know, they don't take advantage of the patent or PTAB pro bono programs. Better communication of the programs to inventors would go a long way to increase program usage. And as far as eligibility requirements, the eligibility requirements are not straightforward and easy to understand. In particular, the income limit is keyed off the federal poverty guidelines. People normally are not aware of financials set forth in the federal poverty guidelines and guidance. They have to track this information down, and that's a deterrent. Additionally, the micro-entity limit is confusing. People normally don't understand what it means to be a micro-entity. They, again, have to track this information down, which is another deterrent. Many are just making the eligibility, or I should say, making the eligibility requirements more straightforward and easier for a layperson to understand would facilitate inventors to pursue use of the program, rather than run away from it as overly complex. Thank you.
Thank you. What are the opportunities or areas for improvement for the patent pro bono program as you see it?
Thank you. This is a dangerous one for me, Grant, because you're asking problem solution, and as an inventor, I definitely have some solutions in mind, so it might take a little while, but you know, I wanted to just kind of gather my thoughts, so I wrote some things down. The first thing I think is to consider changing the name pro bono or adding some extra words to it, like free inventor legal help. Just something a little bit more than pro bono, because some people may not necessarily know what pro bono means. They're not going online looking for pro bono help for patent filing or PTAB filing or PTAB help.
And what's a PTAB?
And what's PTAB, right. So everything should be a little bit easier defined. One effective approach is to collaborate with organizations like the National Inventor Club and other local inventor clubs, like Chris Paul's here from Virginia, DC. Now, he has a great group, and there's plenty of other groups that are out there locally that meet. By actively engaging with these communities, we can disseminate information about the Patent Pro Bono program directly to inventors who are already seeking support and guidance through monthly meetings, online live streaming sessions, and in-person events. We can educate inventors about the program, its benefits, and how to access it. The program can offer workshops in person at local inventor clubs or at the USPTO office, including a tour. Like my National Inventor Club members, Janet and her staff hosted a virtual meeting where inventors came here and had a tour and really learned about all the opportunities available from the USPTO. There should be more people that have the opportunity to do that. Host virtual meetings for inventors to sign up for and have USPTO representatives to guide people through the application and criteria. I think also we must leverage various communication channels to spread awareness. Public service announcements, I think, are really important. Local media coverage. You could talk about inventors that have gone through the program and share their experiences, I think is really important through social media. Those are powerful tools to reach inventors and inform them about the pro bono program. Utilizing these channels can raise awareness among inventors at large and ensure they are informed about the resources available to them. Something else, we should consider, I don't know, Jim, maybe this might work for you, but incentivizing lawyers and patent agents who are actually want to work or work closely with inventors. By providing these professionals with up-to-date information about the Patent Pro Bono program, they can serve as valuable ambassadors and ensure that their inventor clients are aware of this crucial support system. We also have the PTRC, the Patent and Trademark Resource Center, helping with patent searches. Most likely, this is at the start of an inventor's journey, right? They go there first to search for their inventions. They're given guidance to kind of go through the patent search experience. And you can connect with them. And they have offices at the locations. And with each appointment, they can know about the patent pro bono programs that are available to them. Another one that I've had a chance to become really close with is the Small Business Administration, SCORE, the Small Business Development Center, SBDC. They're found on campuses throughout the USA. There's so many local campuses and the SBDCs are available there. They can be a good connection and a reciprocal arrangement because many of the people that are going there are starting new businesses. A lot of them have ideas. They're involved in some kind of intellectual property protection, possibly a patent for what they have. And I think that the two organizations can come together and find some good opportunities between them. That's when they start their entrepreneurial side, their new business. They need appointments, and they are working with entrepreneurs, inventors, startups, and they can guide people to the pro bono program also. If you need, I have a couple good connections there, but I think you guys can connect up with them too. It's also important to simplify the program's eligibility criteria and streamline the application process. By removing unnecessary barriers and making the program more accessible, we can encourage inventors from all backgrounds to take advantage of the pro bono program services available to them. And just a little bit more. From the USPTO side, I think there should be better communication channels to inventors. From what I understand and I've experienced, there's no singular way to reach inventors about the program or tools that may assist them in the innovation journey. As a result, many inventors are not aware of the various programs and tools that the USPTO has available to help inventors. Because inventors avail different communication means, the USPTO may consider diversifying the way that it puts out information to inventors. That way, the USPTO may be able to better reach inventors where they are. The USPTO could better use social media, like I mentioned earlier, pass through publications to inventor organizations, and develop an email subscription center exclusively for inventors. Actually, right now, Grant, none of the email subscription opportunities on your website pages, they don't have the word inventor or entrepreneurship or similar descriptive terms. So inventors may not know which to select to receive relevant and basic information. Many inventors are working folks, and much of the USPTO programming is during business hours. Tough. It'd be much easier if inventors had a chance to attend USPTO programming in the evenings or on the weekends. Something to consider. That's when they're not working. Thanks. You want more? I'm only kidding.
I would like to point out that it is 6:58 right now, so we are here after work. But yes, that's a great idea. Patent practitioners or inventors.
What could the USPTO do to better support us? The website. I think that easier use of the USPTO web pages. The USPTO web pages are full of amazing, great information about all aspects of patenting and trademarking. But if you go to the web pages, they're a bit cumbersome to navigate, especially for inventors who may not know exactly what a program is called, even to find out about the pro bono program within the legal assistance page of the USPTO website. So I went on again to take a look, and I couldn't even find the pro bono program. I had to go to patents, but you also have an inventor and entrepreneur link. It's not on there, but it just says pro bono. So like I said earlier, what does pro bono even mean? For example, an inventor might search for free help on the USPTO webpage when looking for assistance on filing an application. But when you conduct a search, has anybody done that before? If you conduct a search and you put in free help, you know it'll come up. The first few pages are in this order. TEAS help, test help, right? Design search codes, law school clinic certification program, search trademark databases, and then finally number 5, filing a patent application on your own. A novice inventor confronted with these 5 top search hits very likely, most likely, won't know which one to choose, right? They may eventually settle on number 5, which is the filing their own patent application, but this one's a concern, pro se steps to file when the inventor is actually looking for someone to file to help them, right? The next thing is positive inventor messaging. Some members of the inventor community perceive that the USPTO is there to help large corporations only, right? When you go to the website, it looks like it's for corporations. I mean, most likely corporations have patent attorneys or agents that they work with, and they don't really need to go to the front page of the USPTO website. An inventor will go there, but it looks pretty corporate-like. And that's okay professionally, but for us to get the information is kind of tough. So some members of the inventor community perceive the USPTO as there to help large corporations only. It would be great to see the USPTO feature more success stories about independent inventors who have succeeded in securing a patent, registering a trademark, or prevailed before the PTAB, Patent Trial and Assistance Board. This would help to change the negative perceptions. Additionally, the National Inventor Club, I mentioned earlier, we recently had the opportunity to visit the USPTO for a full day of education. The inventors met a large number of USPTO employees from various business areas. Those interactions were wonderful, and they're still talking about it today. They showed the inventors that the USPTO is really there to help and replete with willing employees who want to see inventors succeed. More opportunities to engage with the USPTO employees in a positive environment further helps to cement a positive impression of the USPTO in inventor minds. So one more point here. You're running these Inventor Hour webinars. I think they're great. And the inventors out there, they're giving feedback on it that it's great. They love it. You just need more people to see it. So the Inventor Hour webinars are an excellent way to educate the inventing community, for those of you who don't know about the Inventor Hour webinars. You might not even know where to sign up for it, so you can look up Inventor Hour webinars and they'll come up and you can put your name on the list. The webinars initially seem to focus on PTAB proceedings, but over time have expanded to include other areas of the office like trademarks and patents. I had the opportunity to be a guest on there also, so thank you for that, to get the word out to the inventor community. The topic expansion is really good because inventors often don't understand the basics and need the foundational education before they can even begin to understand what is required for an appeal or an AIA trial. Also, the webinars are recorded and made available for later viewing, which is really helpful to create a library of resources for inventors, especially since many inventors work and can't view the webinars in real time in the middle of the day. To make the recordings more accessible, it'd be useful to have an index so inventors can quickly identify the covered topics and find the particular webinar featuring that topic that they're looking for. One more point here, sorry. You just recently had InventionCon. It's a USPTO flagship event for the inventing community, and there's a fantastic amount of information and networking opportunities to be held there. Yet, a significant amount of inventors have no idea InventionCon what it is, or how it can help them. Many inventors don't have the money to travel to Alexandria, Virginia, and for InventionCon. It would be great if the USPTO met inventors where they are and offered an InventionCon in multiple cities across the country. The topics addressed at InventionCon, they're typically useful, and clearly it's meaningful to inventors to learn directly from the USPTO experts about patents and trademarks, and they also get to meet some of the executives and some of the higher rankings of the USPTO. Deputy Director Derek, thank you for your service to the inventor community. Inventors, though, do, however, confront an array of other topics on their inventing journeys, such as making a pitch, licensing, commercialization, and product production. It'd be instructive if InventionCon brought in the feature topics to cover these additional areas, even though they're not precisely within the USPTO's purview. You know, commercializing your invention. It's great that you're giving all this information. I know there's a fine line, but just offer some resources available to help them commercialize it, just like you mentioned also, Charlie. The USPTO is a trusted source of information for invention, so hearing from the agency about these topics carries weight, and a greater sense that the information is unbiased and accurate. And thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm really excited about this app also that is launching. It's called Inventor Smart Community. It's going to have a dedicated area for the USPTO where you and your team and staff can do live streams, put updates on it, and be able to communicate to the inventor community. So I'm really excited about your participation with it. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, I do like to take a little check for the list. One thing you had mentioned, InventionCon, taking it on the road, and I'm happy to announce that we are taking InventionCon on the road.
Super.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, so we're thinking alike.
All right, when you come to my neighborhood, then I'll check it off.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you, and to all our speakers as well. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to my boss, the Deputy Director, Deputy General Counsel, Director of Office of Enrollment Discipline, Will Covey, to close us out.
Right, I really can't thank you enough for participating in the comment. Pro bono doesn't resonate with a lot of folks, and that's the lawyers always thinking, hey, we live in the legal world, everybody speaks Latin, right? So it's of course they know what pro bono, but lots of great information, lots of food for thought for us. And then all of you give us some fantastic comments. So thank you so much for traveling here far away. I know John and Jim came very far away to get here to participate in this evening's session. And thank you so much. Thank you for your participation, those who are online, and the questions we received. Our next session will be Wednesday afternoon with the attorneys and agents to get their feedback also. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.